Welcome back. This is part 2 of my perspective of the Diyala River firefight. If you like my videos, please take a moment to subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. Now back to the story. All I could see at first was dust, and I could hear somebody screaming. I saw what looked like a leaf floating through the air, and it floated toward my vehicle. It was just kind of fluttering, and it hit the front of my vehicle. The whole vehicle shook, and it turned out to be a hatch from the vehicle next to mine. So I climbed out of my hatch. I'm listening to the guy screaming, and I can't see anything, but I'm thinking to myself, please be Medellin, because if he's screaming, at least he's alive. And I ran through the dust over to where Corporal Medellin's vehicle was. The ramp, which is a big door on the back of the vehicle, had been blown open, and both of the Marines inside the vehicle, Corporal Jesus Martin Antonio Medellin and Lance Corporal Andrew Julian Aviles, were both deceased. Medellin was still partly inside the vehicle, and Aviles had been blown completely clear of the vehicle. He was about 10 feet away from it. I'm not going to go into the details, but it was bad. The artillery round had actually dropped dead center into the vehicle. My platoon sergeant got to the vehicle at about the same time that I did, and a couple of reporters appeared kind of out of nowhere and started taking pictures. My platoon sergeant at the time was one of the most laid-back Marines I've ever met. This was the only time that I've ever seen him in a rage. When he saw the reporters taking pictures, he pulled his pistol out, pointed it at one of them, and said something along the lines of, "The next one of you motherfuckers takes a picture is getting a bullet in his head." I thought they stopped taking pictures, but as I would later find out, they didn't stop. Then my platoon sergeant told me to move my vehicle so that we could get the wounded medevaced and then get the fallen Marines out. And so I ran back over to my vehicle, started it, pulled it out of the way. I backed it up kind of at an angle. Then they started medevacing the wounded. I'm sitting there in my vehicle, and all I can feel is rage for several reasons. One was that I just lost a good friend. I was also enraged that the grunt captain that we had with us, I've referred to him in other videos, I'm not going to say any names, but he just kept yelling about getting as much serviceable equipment as we could off the vehicle. And he didn't seem to care at all that he had several wounded Marines and 2 just killed in action. I was also enraged at myself because I felt like I could have said something. I could have said, "Hey, come off the track. Come over here with me. Come help me out." Hindsight plays tricks on you like that. Makes you think you could have done something different. I know better now. I think even at the time I realized that that was the case. After I got back from Iraq, I went to Texas. A few of the things that we had taken from the vehicle, we kept, we took Medellin's magazines, and each of us took 1 round out of his magazine. We all put those rounds in our own magazines. But since I only used my machine guns, I never fired my rifle in combat. Like I said in another video, my crewman fired it, but I never did. I also took his helmet. I kept the helmet. And when I came back from Iraq, I went to Texas and I took the helmet to his parents and I gave it to them. Shortly after that incident, we were still taking artillery fire, and we had another Marine who was several hundred yards away from us who ended up getting wounded by artillery fire. And not too long after that, we secured the bridge, but the bridge was damaged, so we had to cross the river on a pontoon bridge. All of this is fairly well documented. There was a documentary that touches on it called Baghdad Bound Devil Dog Diaries. I'll link that video in the description if you get a chance. Go watch that. If you look it up on YouTube, it just says My Edited Video. That's the title of it. So we took the bridge and we crossed into Baghdad. I've already told some of those stories. I will certainly tell some more of them. That was tough. If you would like to hear more of these stories, please drop me a like, comment, hit that notification bell, and subscribe.